Well, howdy there, Internet. It's me again, your favorite person who covers niche internet drama that only people who haven't seen the sun in 5 months care about. I would like to consider myself as a fairly unbiased person. Not to toot my own horn, you know. I don't go off to many clan rallies, to say the least. Nor do I hate queer people.
Except you, Trevor.
And above all else, I have never believed a stereotype about a group of people, and it's always been that way. On a completely unrelated note, Beau of the fifth column. I love my petty drama, and I find cataloging the mess that is Twitter user infighting quite amusing, but sometimes, just sometimes, I want to learn. I want to get good commentary on issues that actually affect the world.
Boo!
I know, okay, alright,
That sucks.
I know. And there is only one person on this planet that has none of that moronic drama. That's right, Vosh. Beau of the fifth column. Now, I'll be real with y'all. I've been watching him semi-consistently for around 3 years now, and his stuff is some of the best in the game. Let's go back in time a bit. Me from 3 years ago. Back when I was a strapping young lad, I was a real trash talker online, a keyboard warrior of the highest caliber. So I was browsing YouTube one day, as you do, and I saw a thumbnail just like this pop up. I see this dude, a guy who looks like he's the product of an AI that was only fed pictures of those truckers in dark sunglasses. So I click on this video, fully expecting that southern accent to wash over my eardrums, and I was not disappointed. This guy sounded exactly like I was expecting. He was a living projection of what I had in my head. And instantly, I thought, oh boy, we're going down to Hillbilly Town. That banjo is gonna start playing, and that camera is slowly gonna pan until it reveals the well-ironed Confederate flag on the wall. So I waited, breath baited, my fingers poised as stingers ready to slam down on the keys and talk trash. Waiting for this redneck. Wait, can I say that? You know, my father is from Ohio. That's basically the South. Waiting for this obviously racist man to say something obviously racist. So I watched and waited, and after a little while, I started to worry. This obviously racist man had not yet said anything I disagreed with. Was I racist? And I watched some other videos of his, and I quickly became a fan. Not of racism, of his content. His commentary on issues is calm and collected. There is nuance and consistency in the stuff he says. On the greatest test to determine someone's belief system, I would say he lands around here. My opinion on guns definitely changed in no small part due to his content. They were already kind of shaky, but he gave some practical reasons for gun ownership. Plus, his voice is just mwah.
Well, howdy there, internet people. It's Beau
Top
again.
tier. I remember putting him on as background noise when I was studying. Basically lo-fi. Beau-fi. And I've been watching him ever since. When I first encountered his channel, I immediately put this man in the hillbilly section of my brain, just for the way he looked and sounded. Bias. It's weird. You never really know you have it until it hits you like a semi-truck in hindsight. And that's when it really sank in for me. The problem was me. I, the accepting woke guy, judged this man. I was the biased piece of shit all along. Which really got me thinking about all the other biases I had. Homeless people. Now, I'm a city guy. I've been a city guy for most of my life, but more specifically, I'm a city guy in Seattle, and Seattle has a bit of a problem with housing, to say the least. And you would think that there would be a majority of people who support helping and caring for the homeless population in a substantial way. Now, I would never say I viewed homeless people with disgust, but I definitely viewed them with a sort of disdain. See, I was raised, well, you know, I'm still being raised, in a well-off middle-class family. Kind of taught to me that, you know, if you gave money to a homeless person, they would probably use that to buy drugs or alcohol or something. And when I really started to become aware that this was a bias I had, I kind of tried to change it. The first thing I did was really try to pin down what I felt when walking, past a homeless person. It was a real sense of discomfort. I felt uncomfortable when passing someone I viewed as homeless. But now I knew that feeling was there. Like, it was probably always there, but now it was isolated. It was on its own. Then I really tried to focus on eliminating that bias, that feeling. When my mother had a religious awakening and started volunteering at a soup kitchen, me and my sister were possibly forced to volunteer too. I mainly just washed dishes and when the time came, scooped out the food. And as I saw everyone who was standing in line, talking to one another, it really hit me. Wow. I was a ginormous piece of shit. These people were just trying to get through their day, trying not to go hungry, and I really just clumped them all together in a group and viewed them with less respect. You would be astonished by what actually talking to someone can do to your perception. For I had never really had a conversation with a homeless person, not a real one. Only the slightest of mumbling when I speed walked past someone if they asked for change. It was literally this meme, but without the McDonald's part. But I clearly saw it now. These weren't people who were dangerous or wanted to hurt somebody. These were people who were down on their luck or dealing with issues. People who needed support. Looking back on it in hindsight, it seems surreal to me. The things I believed about homeless people. I still try to be on the lookout for any biases I might have. Whenever I feel uncomfortable in a situation and the reason isn't entirely obvious, I always try to do a double take to see if that sense of discomfort is deeper rooted in something. And after a while, I concluded that I was racist towards everybody. Eye contact. It was fucking eye contact. Deeply unnerving. Listen, I don't want you to stare into my soul. I'm still struggling with that shit. Sidetracked. Moral of the story. Bias isn't really just something blatant. I would actually say the majority of the time it's much more passive, in the background. And the first step to eliminating any bias you might have is to acknowledge that it is there. And odds are you have a bias. Work on improving your perspective. Talk to a diverse set of people. Remember that everyone is a person, just trying to get by another day on this hurtling rock in space. And most importantly,
Don't be a piece of shit. Okay, come on.
well, I'm off.